Primal Instincts 101, this Missile Boy tutorial is going to... This one's going to be for you. Priceless Dragon, the stream went down because I had to stop the blindfolded stream so that I could get started with this one. So we're going to get started. Now, before I get started with any of this, I'm going to assume a couple of basic things, and the biggest one is that you have access to all the characters, because there really isn't a reason to try Iron Manning any of the worlds until you have all of the characters. However, something I will point out though is, while I truly believe you should get 106% before doing Iron Man runs, the characters that I use for my Iron Man runs, you don't need to have 106 in order to be able to do this. I just say do it later because you'll be more experienced at the game by the time you get there, and it'll make getting some of the earlier ones a lot easier. But like I said, all of the characters that I use are the characters you get from either Warp Zone, so like Jill or Commander Video, or Gish, who you get for getting 10 bandages. And 10 bandages in this game is not a lot, so you will certainly have all the characters available to you that you're going to need for what I show you here today. So for 3-1-X, you want to use the Kid. You can also do the same thing with Ogmo. I think I should actually do it with him first. But basically what you want to do is you can come over here to the left, so you're over here on this wall, and then you're going to wall jump off this wall over the two saw blades you see on the right. Just like that. You have a lot more leeway with this jump with the Kid, but it is still possible with Ogmo, as I just showed you. You just have less leeway to do it with Ogmo. You might have to like slide up the wall and off it to give yourself a bit more, but otherwise it's a fairly easy jump. Then from here you actually have a couple of different options. You can either jump through the saw blades like you probably normally would. However, I've also seen it where people do this and go up and over the saw blades. Personally, if you're Ogmo, I don't recommend doing that at all. I recommend just going through the saw blades like you normally would. However, if you're the Kid, you can most certainly slide up the wall and then jump over the saw blade like that to make it a lot easier. And then on the way back, just jump up and over the saw blades using the wall over there on the right side. So from here, all you do is you come down, you jump over that salt pit, and this is really the only part of the level that can kill you. But it's not really all that bad. Just wait for a good moment and slide off of, or wall cling onto this wall at the corner, and then you'll be able to hold left, and I did that wrong as I was trying to explain it, but basically you just want to jump at that corner and hold left as you jump over the saw blade, and you should make it every time. Just like that. Do that for both of them. I'll do this one more time with Ogmo just to quickly show it. So as you can see, I'm just jumping through the saw blades as opposed to going over them with Ogmo, because he's not, he doesn't get enough height for me to feel comfortable doing that. So now we have 3-2. You can actually do this with a variety of different characters. You can use Fly Wrench in order to just completely tear this game a new one, as you can see here. But I feel that a lot of people aren't very good as Fly Wrench, so I'm not gonna provide the how-to do this as Fly Wrench, but I just wanted to show you that he is a really good character for getting through that level if you know how to use him. But instead, we're gonna be just use whatever double jump character you happen to use for the last level, and you should be fine. Like, I don't really have a specific strat for some of the... Oh, dagnabbit. I don't really have a specific strat for some of these levels. It's really just going to be, I use this character because... Oh, okay, well, then I guess we are using Kid. Ogmo, you kind of have to slide up the walls a bit, so it might just be better to use Kid for this. But this one, I don't really have a specific, like, trick in order to make this easier. I kind of just play through the level normally. The only real trick, I guess, is that jump through the two saw blades. So the way I usually do this is you probably saw it, but I just run off the edge and just jump. You have more than enough room to make this jump. Even if you do a full jump where you hold down the button the entire way, you should very easily make that jump. So just like that. I'm going to do that one more time as Ogmo to see if he can do it. Like I said, you kind of have to like wall slide a bit in order to get him enough height. But yeah, see, Ogmo makes that jump just as easily, so it's not that big a deal. So next level. The red room is a kind of strange level because there are a bunch of different characters you can use for this, mainly the kid and Fly Wrench. But for the start of the level, what I usually do is I just jump through this pair of saw blades here. If you run off the edge and jump and do a full jump, you'll make it through that every single time. And then you just double jump over that saw. Make sure you run across these blocks here. And then from here, all you do is, this is a tough jump to make. You just need to do one full jump with the kid. There's no reason to do a double jump over it. You have more than enough room to make it otherwise. And I'm not going to make that now because I did that. But as Ogmo, you have to do a double jump there, because Ogmo doesn't get enough height. As you can see, probably he's not going to make it. But from there, it's just a simple double jump over here. And you actually have a couple of different options when you get over here. For an Iron Man run, it might not be worth it to go back on the return trip, especially if you save this level for later. So what you can do is you can actually go up into the ceiling there. You might notice there's that little gap. And I'm having a really hard time with this. Oh man, I really am just having an abysmal time with this. I cannot get up there. Oh man, come on, we can do it. There we go. Okay. So now you're up here, and you just jump across. Be careful, this little salt pillar right here, it does still have a hurt box, and it will hit you. I don't know about this one, though. Okay, so no, it won't. And from here, you can basically just come all the way over here, drop down, and just jump through. So, it takes a bit of time, especially if you don't get it in your first try, but it's really worth it. However, if you're Fly Wrench, from here, all you do is you drop down, you jump over the salt as you come through. And you can actually... No, you can't do that. I'm sorry. There's a strat where you can actually, like, fall off of this and be able to make it up there. It's really precise, though, and I'm not very good at it. I'll try it a couple times. Aw, so close. But you can actually make it up there, but that's a really risky strat, and for an Iron Man, I don't really think it's all that worth it. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, it's really that first jump that's a big problem. But getting back is not a problem. But like I said, I don't like that strat. I think it's a bit too risky for an Iron Man run, but you can do that if you want to, I suppose. If you have Fly Wrench and you don't have like a double jump character of some type. So this next level you want to use Fly Wrench because the saw blade shooters won't be able to hit him, because we're not going to be jumping up and down these conveyors. We're actually just going to flat out just jump up here. And by doing this, you effectively remove all challenge from the level, because the saw blade shooters aren't going to have any chance of hitting you, because you're never going to be in their range. So smart usage of Fly Wrench really helps in this world. You're going to see a lot more levels with Fly Wrench. He's a fantastic character. Alright, so for 3-5, I recommend using a double jump character like Ogmo or the Kid. I'm going to use Ogmo for this demonstration. So right at the start, you want to jump onto this conveyor, and you want to hold right as you go up. So now you're over here. And from here, you can do one of two things. You can either jump straight over here, or if you want to be a bit safer, just come over here and double jump off this wall. So now you're up here. Now from here you can do two different things. You can either wall slide up here to refresh your... Okay, well, as Ogmo I might not be able to do this, but if you're Kid, you can slide up this and just double jump straight up to where those blocks are. Or the key block, or the locks are. However, if you're Ogmo, you need to do this. You need to come up, touch this conveyor belt, and double jump up and around so that you're right here. And from here, you just double jump up here, come down here, and now we just come down here, and we just get sent flying up. If you're playing this on the PC version, all you have to do right at the start of the level is come over here to where these blocks are and just flip the gravity here if you're playing on PC, and you will basically instantly finish the level. It's a fantastic level to save for last because there aren't too many things that can kill you in this level, especially if you do it once or twice, so I think it's a fantastic level to save for last. It kind of takes a bit of time too to get through it if you're not using the Captain Viridian strat, so it's good to save for last. It's easy and it's not gonna be something that ruins your runs a lot of the time. Okay, so the next stage is 3-6, not you again. Now, in the PC version of this game, I would use Captain Viridian to completely cheese this level. However, since we're playing on console, we can't do that. So instead, we're going to use Ogmo. A little thing to note is that Ogmo has a smaller hitbox than all of the other characters. As a little demonstration, as you can see here, there are little salt waterfalls coming through. And the salt slightly extends outward in a few different spots. And we're going to be using this second conveyor to show what I mean. So if I'm playing this as Ogmo, I don't die as I go up and down this little patch of salt, but I cling onto the conveyor. But if I were to play as another character, like say Meat Boy, I die there. Ogmo doesn't die there, because I believe he has the smallest hitbox out of all the other characters. So we want to use him, because as you alternate left and right up the conveyor belts, you have a much more lenient chance of getting through there by using Ogmo, as opposed to some other character who has a much larger hitbox. Like if I tried doing this level as Meat Boy, I would probably die a few times. Yeah, see? See how I got clipped there on that last thing of salt? If I were to do this as Ogmo, and I did the exact same thing, notice how I didn't get clipped there. So, use Ogmo for that as you alternate left and right, and you should be fine. It's a lot easier than trying to do it as Meat Boy. Ogmo's not a tough character to get either. So, now we're at 3-7, and what I see people do in their Iron Man runs is something to the extent of this, where they will run off the edge, and they will try to grab this key, and they will exit to map if they don't get it. The thing is that you don't need to do that at all. If you have a double jump character, all you need to do is jump over the key, climb up the conveyor belt, and just grab the key like this. Of course, I missed that jump, so let me just quickly switch. And you can just grab the key without having to grab that first key. As a matter of fact, I recommend that you do that because it's a lot harder to do that. Then, in order to grab the second key, all you do is you fall down, grab the conveyor, and then double jump over to the top of this next block. And then from there, you can basically finish the level. This is another fantastic level to save for last, especially if, for whatever reason, you are planning on using the exit to map trick in order to make it so that you don't have to do harder levels first. Then this is a fantastic one to save for last because it's very consistent. And like I said, even if you do somehow like grab the key and you miss it, it's not the end of the world. You can just exit to map and you will be fine. Alright, so the next level that we have here is 38X, and in the PC version of the game, I use Runman to get through this level. However, we're not going to be able to do that, so we are going to use Meat Boy for this. And this is a level I had a lot of trouble with when I actually played the console version of the game, because Meat Boy actually isn't fast enough to outrun the missile launchers all the way at the end, so just jump over this first pit of salt and that missile launcher will fire at you. By the time you jump up here to the conveyor belt, it will probably have missed you.